grace after the time limit. I'm sure the timer will keep that in track, but it is better to wind up as soon as you see red. All right. So let's move on to the R counter. Our R counter seems to be an extremely quick person because he associates himself with Hermes, who's the Greek god of speed and has wings in his shoes. So um, the most important aspect about him is his elusiveness to social events and his unlimited capabilities to do daydreaming. With that, please put your hands together to welcome the counter for today, Job. Jobin or Joy. I don't know how to introduce you, but I would call you as Joy because you named yourself as that first. So here you are.
Yes, G, it's Jobin. Thank you for the introduction. Hi, everyone. I will be the R counter for this Megalos evening. Hope I said that correctly. My task is to count the number of unnecessary sounds or fillers while delivering speeches and speaking in general. I will be on the lookout for these words. It's called CRPF. C for crutch words like, R for repetitive words, P for awkward pauses just like these. F for filler words like so and you know. So these words will be uttered in a speech. So the best way to evade my sharp ears is to take a breather, be conscious of what you are about to speak, and take a simple short pause to pace yourself. This will help avoid these words and also it will help you eliminate these words from your speech entirely. Thank you and back to you, G.
And thank you very much, Jobin. I hope I got the name right now. All right. So next we have someone who likes the story of Pandora box, and that's an interesting story. Until you open the box, you don't know what's inside. Almost like the Schrodinger's cat, right? So, and the most interesting aspect to today's meeting is that this grammarian's name has a Greek origin, meaning the bearer of good news. So let us welcome the bearer of good news, Evangeline, on stage. Evangeline.
Thank you for the lovely introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My role as a grammarian is to pay attention to the good use of English and provide constructive feedback for improvements. At the end of the meeting, I will be on stage once again to present my report. Before that, I would like to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is to help the fellow members to enrich your vocabulary in preparing your speech. For this meeting, the word of the day is megalos, origin Greek, meaning great. Here is an example. The megalos author died yesterday. You all are encouraged to use the word of the day as frequent as you could in the meeting, and I will count how often it was used by each speaker. I encourage you all to show thumbs up whenever anyone uses this word. Uh, uh, for encouraging the person for using it. Have a megalos day. Thank you. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Evangeline. And with that, we have the introduction of the Megalos tag team. Uh, and I'm already giving the counter a run for his money. All right. So, with that, my role would be to consolidate the report in the end and present it along with my, what do you say, take on how the meeting went and probably share a few tidbits here and there. Uh, with that, I would hand over the stage back to the Toastmaster of today, Abraham.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chandramouli. That was a very good introduction. I think it really helped the guests today. So today we'll be starting off with the first section of the meet, which is the prepared speech round. So the prepared speech round, as I said, is prepared speeches. So they would have already prepared for their introduction or any particular topic that they've already chosen. And there will be evaluators for each of those speeches. To give guidelines for the speakers, I welcome the speech evaluator, Hiba.
Good evening, everyone. The speakers today are attempting their level 1 project 1 speech, which is the icebreaker speech. The objective of this speech is to understand the basic structure of public speaking and to introduce themselves to the club. Timer, please note that the time limit for the speech is 4 to 6 minutes with a buffer time of 30 seconds. All the best to all the speakers. Over to you, TM Modi.
The first speech will be evaluated by Hiba. Help me encourage and welcome our first speaker. She loves to read and binge reading is her superpower. She loves coffee, dogs, and watching the rain. Let's welcome Lavanya. Lavanya, lost and found Lavanya. Over to you, Lavanya.
Good evening, everybody. On October 1st, 1999, at 12:45 p.m., on a sunny Friday afternoon, the hospital staff and nurse of Ramanatha Pandian Hospital in the quaint but colorful town of Tirunelveli took time from their daily routine to stop and watch my great aunt jump, excuse me, jump and dance with joy as the first girl child in the Subramaniam household was born. I am Lavanya SM. I just turned 21 years old a month ago, and I study computer science engineering at MBJ. I live with my family here in Bangalore. We're a family of 5, my parents, my sister, and my grandmother. Originally, my grandparents are from Tirunelveli, which is south of Tamil Nadu. Having realized his entrepreneurial dreams, my grandfather took up a few odd jobs after schooling, but finally stepped foot in Bangalore. Out of sheer luck and a job application that he had no hope on, he soon reached here and set up his family. And that's the story of how I ended up calling this beautiful, beautiful city my home. I've never moved homes or changed schools except once. And whenever I hear people saying they've stayed in different cities and went to different schools, I'm instantly hit by a pang of jealousy. I can only imagine the thrill of knowing more than one city too well and being able to call it your home. If I had to describe the kind of student I was, what would aptly fit is if I say jack of all trades but master of none. I never topped the class, but I didn't disappoint my parents either. I'd read and discuss subjects and concepts and get completely immersed in conversations about it, but never really cared to study for exams. But obviously, my parents did. So when I was in class 4 and almost every kid in the neighborhood had bicycles, so I walked up to my parents and said, even I want one. Them being them, told, score in the top 3 in your class and we'll have a look at it. And me being one for loving challenges, working hard for it was no big deal. For the next 2 exams, I ended up ranking second in my class. All my friends were surprised. They thought I found some new way to cheat in exams all of a sudden. But I worked hard, won the challenge, and got myself a blue bicycle, which I still hold very close to my heart. It was around that time when my classmates, it was around that time when my dog passed away and my uncle happened to move out of the country. I got more irritable and became this moody teenager because there was nobody I could talk to every time I fought with my parents and moved away. As we were cleaning out my uncle's room one day, I happened to find some of his books, the really big books with yellowed pages. I didn't know if I'd read them, but I knew I definitely wanted them. So I picked them up and diligently went and kept them in my room. And every time I was upset or sitting in my room, not knowing what to do, I just picked one and started reading. And getting immersed in these books came very naturally. Every time I picked one, I'd get so lost in it and lose all track of time and day that I wouldn't let go of it until I fell asleep. It would be a malicious task to get me to stop reading them. So every time I had a test that I had to prepare for, my mother would walk into my room, take all my books away and go, and said, the only books you'll be reading this week are your textbooks. They're not the same, but I never really lost the interest. I would get lost in reading chapters in textbooks too, but they're usually chapters that were not prescribed for the test. That's how books have played a great role in my life. Other than this, if I had to speak about myself, I'd say nothing can cheer me up better than a good cup of filter coffee. I can down cups and cups of it, either wanting to wake up in the morning and stay alert, or having to put myself asleep after a really tiring day. Nothing can help me much as coffee. I love to sit and watch the rain and listen to great music and distance myself away from the rest of the world. My love for dogs won't let me walk by one without petting it or at least frantically waving it without considering how I look like an idiot in public. So during quarantine, I happened to ask my uncle about the books he left behind, and he told me he thought he lost it. And he also told he had a couple of great memories reading and sharing these books with his friends. So from him losing some memories to me finding my comfort in these books, most of me is some part of every character I've read in every book. Thank you.
That was great, Lavanya. I think that was an amazing first speech. Um, the second speech will be evaluated by Rakshanda. Moving on to our second speaker, he described himself as a simple foodie, with bread being his favorite staple and rice a second close. He enjoys Italian and Chinese cuisines, but hasn't decided his favorite yet. Let's encourage and welcome Yugesh. Yugesh, a walk in my life, a walk in my life, a walk in my life, Yugesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abraham. We all know a dumb kid whose emotions sometimes get the better of them. And when you hear about or see some of these things and that they've done, and you say to yourself, why would you do that? That dumb kid was me. A story that I still very vividly remember when I was about 3 or 4 years old. I came back home from kindergarten. As I got off the bus, I gave my bag to my grandmother and I proceeded to run to the gate of my house, energetic as ever. There was a dog sleeping right in front of the gate. And as I ran towards him, he had an abrupt awakening. And you all know how unpleasant that can be. And evidently, he wasn't very happy about it. He gave me a vicious growl, and unlike any other normal person who would try to take a step back, I tried to go and pet him. But as I went close to him with my arm extended, he gave me an aggressive bark. And once I heard this, I was once again presented with the opportunity to take a step back. But of course, I wouldn't do that. I ran. And that didn't end very well. I had to get 4 long injections because I got bit by a stray dog on my butt. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. My name is Yugesh, but I'm not very fond of that name. Though I introduce myself as Yugesh with a U, people tend to call me Yogesh. Don't be that guy or a girl, not discriminating. Call me Yuki. Because the theme of today's meeting is Greek history, I thought I would associate myself with the Greek god of dreams, Morpheus. I've linked myself with him not just because he has an extremely cool name, and if I was to change my name, I'd definitely change it to that, but also because of my vivid dreams, which I have pretty often. Sometimes in the middle of a conversation with me and my friends, I just go like, wait, this has happened before, a deja vu. And this happens so often that eventually that my friends just say, we don't care, dude. So I just keep it to myself. I did my schooling in Ryan International School, and it was a Megalos family. I used to despise morning assemblies because we were forced to sing and dance. But looking back, it's something that I really miss. I attended my 11th and 12th in Gopal and Diksha, which honestly I joined just because of the magnificent football turf. Although I did meet some of the most beautiful people there, and to date, the closest friends I've ever had. Right now, I'm pursuing my degree in engineering in computer science from the most prestigious university known to all mankind, MVJC. I love traveling with friends or family, and when all of them are looking for places to visit, I look for places to eat. Though I've traveled a decent amount and eaten at a plethora of restaurants, nothing can come close to my megaloss of a hometown, Hyderabad, where the food is flabbergasting. It is, in fact, so good that I'd love to spend the last of my days there, surrounded by the delicious food. I used to play all kinds of sports, from football to tennis, but notice I said used to. That's because now I spend exceedingly long hours in front of my computer playing video games. I also have more unorthodox hobbies like looking for secret Russian military bases on Google Maps. I'm not lying. But we all know that's not possible because we only see what Vladimir Putin wants us to see. At this point, you know who I am, who I was, who I am. Now I want to tell you a little about who I want to be. A couple of months ago, my grandfather tested positive for the coronavirus. When we went to drop him off at the hospital, we finished all the paperwork and I wanted to hug him a goodbye and a speedy recovery. But I didn't because I didn't think it would be appropriate considering all the doctors running around in PPE suits and just the commotion in general. Little did I know that was the last time I ever saw him. I was ever going to see him. And by far, that is the greatest regret of my life. This taught me one valuable lesson that I should grab every opportunity that life throws at me. And Toastmasters is a product of that. Hopefully, the way I want to live life from now on leads to many new beginnings and many other such great things. On that note, thank you all for listening to me. That's me signing off. Over to you, Abraham.
That was good, Yogesh. It was a really good speech. Moving on to our third speaker, he will be evaluated by Sirisha. He described himself as an aeronautical engineering aspirant, a plane enthusiast. He's won the bronze medal for the International Math Quiz in 2014 in the UAE. He helped in holding college events for the past 2 years and now has found interest in learning more about the trade industries. I call upon Harsh Joshi. Harsh Joshi, three accidents of my life, Harsh Joshi. Over to you, Harsh Joshi.
Thank you, Abraham. Before I start, am I audible to everyone? Please give me a thumbs up or thank you, Jobin. Thank you, Yogesh. Icebreaker speech. Nishant other day was talking to me that go, dude, give your icebreaker speech. It's been so long. It's the 10th pre-charter meeting, and this he was saying to me 5 meetings ago. That is 1.5 months ago. And now here I am doing just the same. My name is Harsh Joshi, and I'm currently studying in MVJCE, as Yogesh mentioned, the most prestigious institute of all. And I'm studying aeronautical engineering and currently in the 4th year. I'm 21 years of age, born in Porbandar and moved around a lot of cities. And I'm sure Lavanya will be jealous of that. But yeah, 21 years is a long time. Well, to start off, you must be wondering why I'm here and how did I reach here. So buckle up because it's flashback time. Well, let me tell you about the first time I had my first accident. I was 2 years old. We shared a backyard with our neighbors, and I was there sitting, staring at the backyard, considering I had nothing else to do because I was 2 years old. So my neighbor's son, who was around 15-ish, decided to test out his leftover crackers from last Diwali. And God gave him brains that you should not do that. And 10-15 minutes into the event, a stone decided that why should they have all the heat and decided to make me or my eyes the target. He lighted up the next cracker, and there the stone came flying towards me and right into my eye. The next thing I know is I was lying on the hospital bed with an eye patch on, which I think is a megalous thing considering that my lens was shattered by a stone. And that changed my life completely as how I look at people and how people look at me. Because before I was this, and now I'm this. I'm sure you'll notice a difference. Moving on, the people that knows me personally would definitely adhere to the fact that I'm a heavy eater. I eat a lot. Now, to add to the glee of it, I didn't gain weight until my first year of engineering no matter how much I ate. I could hog 42 gulab jamuns at once and then I'd still be the skinny guy at school. Now, I don't know if that is a megalomaniac thing to have, but it had a mixed bag of feelings for me. Although I enjoyed eating everything that I could without gaining weight, it had its own cons. Back in the days when I was in second grade, I was I was walking here and there in the break time in my school. When the bell rang, I decided to go back. Go back as in I decided to run back to my class where I collided with this giant guy, complete opposite to what I was, and we both fell to the ground because of the collision, of course. And my hand was under him. That broke my elbow, which was the second accident that I faced. But then the person that I am is that I don't like to complain about things much. So what I did was I went to class, sat quietly, and didn't utter a word. But eventually, one of the teachers did notice it, and then they called my parents because they thought that that was the right thing to do. But to no one's surprise in my family, I was given a plaster for 45 days, which kept my hand in this manner. I guess you can see this, which was a surprise to me because as a child, I was very hyperactive, way too hyperactive. And to no one's surprise in my family, on the 25th day after the plaster was made, my hand from this went to this. Yeah, with the plaster on. So you can understand how energetic I was as a child. So another such incident that took place, which I refer to as the third accident of my life, is when we were playing hide and seek at our aunt's place. I was running downstairs to find a spot to hide, and out of nowhere, I decided to jump from the seventh step. I was way too thin, and that, my friends, is a very idiot move to do. Don't try that at home. On doing that, what happened was the ankle ball that is on my right side decided to dislocate itself to almost near the toe. And this happened when I was around 3 years old. So I didn't do anything. I just went inside and sat down until my mom noticed, of course. So my teenage days were pretty quiet compared to what I was as a child. In my defense, I had changed 6 schools as my family kept moving around. I never actually made peace with a group of people until, of course, my college days, where I have a couple of people that stayed throughout the journey. But until then, my personality was rock solid in place compared to a clay version of a child's personality, which can be molded into anything they want. I transitioned from an extrovert to being an introvert. I learned how being self dependent is the best thing that could ever happen to anyone. And I developed a very strong connection with my parents. My parents know everything from fights to breakups, from first glass of milk to the first glass of beer. They have seen it all. One hobby that I'd like to take forward is my attachment to planes. As Abraham did mention my attachment to planes, I stare at them in the evening from the terrace, and that is the best peace of mind that I could have. Plus, to make it as a profession is a blessing in disguise. I would definitely like to carry forward this passion towards plane, and maybe 5 years down the line, I might be giving a speech about it at a Toastmasters meeting somewhere in the world. Until then, stay safe and eat whatever you want, because let's face it, we are all lazy to work against it anyway. So why not make a joy out of it? Thank you for listening to me. That's me signing off. Over to you, Toastmaster.
That was really good, Harsh. I like the fact that you tell your parents everything. Well, we're moving on into the second section of our meeting. So as you saw, this is how it would be in a proper Toastmasters meet. We would have all the three speakers to speak. And then we move on to the second part of it, which is the table topics. So it's a section where we talk about different topics, and it's encouraging us to speak without preparing. It's also called impromptu speaking session. So that brings us to the end of the prepared speech round. Now we'll be moving on to the table topics round, as I said, and this will be conducted by the table topics master. So she's a third-year computer science and engineering student and enjoys coding and aims to be a machine learning engineer. She's a foodie and dark chocolates are her favorites. She likes listening to K-pop. I welcome Aprajita to the stage, and she's going to be conducting the session. Over to you, Aprajita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. That lovely introduction. We've seen some amazing prepared speeches this evening. But in real life, we do not always have the opportunity of being prepared beforehand. We might come across situations and cases where we have been asked to speak at a certain event very randomly. At such events, we might be confused or we might get stuck thinking on what to speak about or how to speak about. To tackle this, here at Toastmasters, we have this table topics session, which is basically based on impromptu speaking. So let's start with the table topics today. Do we have some volunteers? I can see Jobin raising his hand. So your topic is, so here's this famous quote by this famous Greek philosopher Aristotle. Quality is not an act, it is a habit. I repeat, quality is not an act, it is a habit. What do you think on this?
I think it's very much true. Quality is not an act, it is a habit. For example, I do quality daydreaming. I keep doing it. It's a habit. I also do quality sleeping, very quality sleeping. I do it in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at nights, especially in the nights. And also, it the quality is also an act. It's not an act because you need to do it again and again to really understand what you actually are. For example, if I sit at night, I open Netflix and apply chips to my face, then it shows me that I'm really special. It's quality time with myself, with a screen in front of me, and it shows the degrading quality of my life in this lockdown. Thank you.
That was an amazing thing, the quality acts that you do. So moving on for the next table topic, do we have a volunteer for this one? Do we have a volunteer?
I'll go.
Yeah. Who's it? Can you just please?
Ehtisham.
Oh, hello, Ehtisham. So your table topic for today is, we all know that Greek history has a number of these amazing superheroes, and we all know the most famous of them being is Hercules, which was hundreds of years ago. So if you were to be a superhero now, which power would you pick for yourself and why?
Okay, so when you say superhero, you mean like I can pick any science fiction as well. So I'll go with super speed. The main reason is because I am very like intrigued by the Flash. But apart from it, if just I have to pick just one more, I'll pick super rich, just like Batman, because I love Batman. In fact, I love him so much that I use it as my catchphrase sometimes. So either the super speed or super rich.
That was really amazing. So for the next table topics, we need 2 volunteers. So is there anyone who would like to come up and speak? We need 2. We need 2 people.
I'll go.
Okay, one is Krishna Tej. Can we have another one? Okay, so I can see Nishant. So, Krishna Tej and Nishant, I have a situation here for you. As we are in a lockdown and we are still stuck at home doing our online classes and still waiting for our colleges to open for offline classes. So the situation here is one of you is a parent and the other one is a child who's a college student. So the pandemic is almost going to be over, and the child who's a student, he wants to go back to the college because he really misses college and he wants to be just back with his friends. While the parent doesn't want him to go because he keeps saying that it's not safe outside still, and there might be a lot of danger still. So you have to build up a conversation. So one of you is a parent and one of you is a child. So who's gonna pick what?
Krishna, you go ahead. You pick one.
No, you go ahead. I'll just be the son because that's my situation right now at college.
Okay, so timer, please note for this, there will be 2 minutes per speaker, 1 to 2 minutes per speaker. So this can be a total of 2 to 4 minutes for the entire discussion. Yeah, so let's start.
Hi, Dad. Dad, I just like recently they have announced that they're going to start the college again. So like I'm missing a lot of classes, and apparently they're now going to conduct online classes. So I think I just have to go to college from tomorrow.
So I really feel you shouldn't be leaving at this situation that Corona is everywhere. It's just that people are not reporting anymore. The numbers might seem falling, but in reality, it's still growing.
No, Dad. Apparently the death rates have decreased. Cases might have increased, but the death percentage is very less. And also, MBJ is like if you don't get 85% attendance, they're not going to let you go to the next semester. So you can either talk to the college or you can just send me.
Don't mind about the attendance. I'm really happy if you can stay back until the whole situation settles down and you can take a year break or two. Just enjoy it.
You'll just have to pay a year's fees again. And I really value our house's money. So I'd rather spend that money on something useful like games.
It's fine. You are the precious asset we have and we don't want to lose on you. And it would be great to spend time with you because once you are done with your engineering, you're going to go to some different city and enjoy your life altogether.
But Dad, once I'm done with engineering, I'll just start earning money and we can go on world tours. So it's fine. You always we can just go on world tours with the money I earn. So it's better to just send me now.
That is so lovely to hear from you that you want to take us on a world tour. Maybe those will be for a few moments or a few days, but the time we're going to spend with you right now will be remembering for years to come. And that's all we're going to have about you, just
that's
the memories.
There, but who knows, once if you go on a plane, Harsh might see us from his roof terrace and just wave at us from there. We can wave back from the top.
Yeah, sure, that is a possibility, but it's better to stay at home and be safe than go catch a plane right now and get infected and go through that suffering. And I saw on the WhatsApp recently that Corona doesn't affect currently and you might get cured, but it has long-term effects. I'm pretty sure that...
I was just seeing a WhatsApp forward that if you apply onion oil to your head every day, there's there are high chances that your Corona is going to get cured within 3 days. So we can try that and I can go to college with it.
I'll talk to your HOD, I'll talk to your principal, we'll sort something out. And if
Dad, come on, Dad, please just let me go or I'm going to complain to mom.
Okay, fine, you don't take this to mom.
You know what, you remember what I saw you the other day near the shop, you were talking with another lady. So
I guess, okay, you can, you want to go on the economy or you want to take a business class? Sure, I'll just book a ticket.
Yes. Yeah. And I'll also bring my friends along. Is that fine?
I guess you're stepping over the pond now.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Back to your table topics master.
That was really amazing and it was funny at the same time. So next we have a very interesting question. So is there a volunteer who wants to come up and try this? Do we have someone? Well, this is a very interesting question, and you would also be very much happy to answer this question. This is probably the easiest one.
Hello, I am Harshvardhan.
Hi, Harshvardhan. So the question is, you meet a person from probably a very old era who has time traveled into the future and arrived in 2020.
Okay.
How would you explain him what a smartphone is? You have to explain him what a smartphone is because he doesn't know anything.
Okay. First, we need to explain the basic of it. First, they need to know what is it from and what is it, what is the use of it. So for everything, basic is the most important thing to know about anything in the life. It is most important to know everything from the basic. So first, the basic thing is we need to inform them what is this iPhone and what is this phone and all, what is the Android system we are going to use in this. And slowly coming, we need to explain them step by step. What is this? What is this? What is this? We can't explain them directly each and everything and you do that, you do this. That's the only thing we need to do. It is like treating a small baby, like giving food. We can't directly feed them biryanis and all. First, we need to start from the basic things. Then by age, there'll be some food limits and all. So in the same way, we need to treat the person to teach the smartphone from old eras. Thank you. Forward to you.
Thank you so much. Coming up, ending this table topic session, we have one last question. So is there a volunteer who would come up? This is the last question for today. Do we have someone?
I can try if you would want me to.
Okay, sure. I hope you find this question very interesting. So here it is. So we have another quote. This is by Aristotle again, and it says, "Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work." I will repeat. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. What do you think about this?
I clearly remember what Jobin said, that he is able to do so many things with a great quality because he is absolutely passionate about sleeping, right? And I believe it is very important to put pleasure in the job. And I am a big fan of this character called as Sherlock Holmes. And anybody who knows Sherlock Holmes would agree with me that he believes your job should be a pay by itself, right? You don't do something because you get paid, but you do it because you get to do it. And that should be the pleasure that you derive out of it. And once you are able to find something where you are able to derive that kind of pleasure out of it, you no longer work, you stop working, you're having fun every day, right? That's an ideal state to be in. And I would love to be there. I have been there quite a few times. And that's the reason I've been jumping a lot of jobs. As soon as I don't find the perfection and I don't find the pleasure in doing the job, I no longer like doing it. So it's very important, at least when you start your career, that you find something that you're absolutely happy about doing and you find pleasure while you do it. And once you find that pleasure, probably you'll start to understand how you can make money out of it, because now you can earn doing anything, right? But the most important thing that you can earn is your happiness, and that will take you a long way. So find pleasure in what you do, and that is when you will be able to do it to the best of the quality. And when you do things to the best of the quality, you become an expert in that field. And when you become an expert, you would achieve heights, great heights. All this is not possible without pleasure. Everything starts with pleasure. Back to the table topics, master.
Thank you. That was a really megalith lesson from you. With this, we end our table topic session for today. I hope everybody enjoyed today's session. And okay, back to you, TMOD.
Well, that was a great session, and I really liked it. I think it was very lively. I'm glad we took Greek mythology as the topic, for the theme. So, well, there are a few fun facts that we got to get to before getting to the final part of it. Like when you go for Greek mythology, try to know the basics at least, like the names of the gods and what they're famous for. Try to know the Trojan War, at least a bit of that, and try to learn a bit about the ancient civilization, like the Mycenaean civilization and stuff like that. So if anybody asks, you don't look like a fool. Just to tell you, because I found myself a fool a lot of times like that. So moving on. We will be moving on to the third section of it, the third session of the meeting. And the evaluation round is that round where we actually make an evaluation for all the prepared speeches and all the other aspects of the session. And it will be conducted by the general evaluator, Toastmaster Chandramouli and his tag team. So I will be handing it over to the general evaluator. General Evaluator Chandramouli, Toastmaster Chandramouli, I hand over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Abraham. The way we would proceed with this is we would first have the evaluators for each of the speech, and then we'll have the tag team, and then I would present my report. To start with, to evaluate the first speaker, Lavanya, we have someone who associates herself with the Greek god Athena, the goddess of battle and strategy. And her favorite story is also something that I like, which is Labyrinth. And there are a lot of stories around that itself, right? And she is someone who is an expert in Norse, Greek, Roman, and Egyptian mythology, and is a huge fan of psychotic thrillers because she enjoys understanding how a human brain works. Put your hands together to welcome the evaluator for Lavanya, Hiba, on stage. Hiba?
Thank you so much for that introduction. First of all, Lavanya, congratulations on attempting your L1 P1. So I would start off by saying that you painted a beautiful picture of the town where you were born, which was amazing. It gave a very nice, like it put us all to comfort, and we could see that you were comfortable and you just went on with the story. And as you shared your experiences, one thing I could gather is you're a girl who marches to the beat of her own drum. No one can make you do something unless you don't want to, which your parents kind of realized, and they played a really cool game where they made you study and you finally earned that blue bicycle, which you hold so dear to yourself still. You had amazing voice modulation and you were very engaging. From next time onwards, do try to maintain constant eye contact. And I love how you shared the experience of your uncle moving away, which was really heartbreaking, and how you chose to cope with it. Where he had no idea he had left those books behind, you took them in and they contributed to your personality by such great extent. You wouldn't have been the same person if it weren't for that small incident which made such a huge difference. And throughout your speech, we learned several qualities about you. I would love to hear how you developed those qualities. One of them was you're very determined. If you set your mind to something, you do work hard to achieve it. So what brought about that in you? So like how did you inculcate those qualities? And yeah, I guess that's all. And one moment. Yeah. That's all. It was an amazing speech. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much, Hiba. Let's move on to the evaluation of the second speech, which was given by Yugesh. I hope I don't offend Yugesh by calling his name as Yugi or Yugesh. To evaluate his speech, we have someone who associates herself with Hera, because Hera has two sides. The one who is a goddess of children and family at the same time has a lot of anger, right? And the favorite story of hers is also showing an irony, right? Uh, the one where Persephone becomes the underworld queen. And that's the irony because Persephone is the goddess of spring. And this gives a good idea about her, and she's someone who's associate herself to be organized chaos and is an optimist who loves to hear stories and enjoys understanding people. Put your hands together to welcome Rakshanda on stage. Rakshanda.
Thank you so much, Chandramouli sir, and congratulations, Yogesh, on attempting your L1P1. And first thing I would like to point out or bring onto the stage is the way you picturized your entire story. You were very, very detailed about even the minute things about how the dog reacted to you coming closer to him, or how you felt when a dear one in your family passed away, or how important people are to you. So I really like that approach where each and everything that you said was very personalized, and also that it was giving us a very picturesque aspect so that we could imagine what you were seeing and what you were feeling. The second thing is that you used very new words, things that we wouldn't generally use in our day-to-day lives, vividly, evidently, plethora, and flabbergasting. Another thing that I would point out is the fact that people butcher our names. People cannot say my name right ever. Rakshanda, they call me Rakshita, Ranjita, Rajeshwari. It just goes on and on. I like that you pointed out people butchered your name. The use of hand gestures, very animated hand gestures. What happens is when you're using hand gestures, people tend to notice you more. People tend to see where you're stressing, where you want to take away from the speech, where you want to give in more. And your voice modulation adds to the fact that you're using a lot of animated hand gestures. So you're stressing on parts where, like, oh my god, I was a dumb kid, or mellowing out your mellowing out your voice when you said your grandfather passed away. So that also adds to the value of how you present your speech. One thing that I would want you to maybe try next time is that try and make the speech more fluid or flowing, where you are connecting one story to another, so there is some sort of flow. And one challenge I would want you to try is put the sad things in between and maybe end it off on a good note. So really good job, Yogesh. Over to you, Chandramouli sir.
Thank you, Rakshanda. And to evaluate the third speech by Harsh, we have someone who loves the story of the three sisters of fate. And she is someone who's very attached to her family and can be physically present in a lecture and still daydream about anything under the sun. And please put your hands together to welcome Srisha on stage. Srisha.
Thank you for your nice introduction. So I will be evaluating for Harsh. Harsh, your speech was excellent. You had an amazing introduction. You explained your situation so beautifully. You put on your pain into it. You showed that how bad you felt when you were hurt every time. And one thing I like in your is you have a very nice voice variety, like vocal variety, so which is an advantage for you. And you gave the conclusion also very clearly. And I think you should I have a recommendation for you to make your great speech a greater speech. Like, I think you can use your expressions, and I think you should work on your time. That's all. Rest, your speech was a great. So thank you.
Thank you very much for that swift evaluation, Sirisha. Now it's time for us to probably have the tag team evaluation. Let me call upon the timer. Okay, let me go to the timer in the end, because let us time even the R counter and grammarian. Let us have the grammarian's report first. Evangeline. Evangeline, could you present the grammarian's report, please?
Yeah. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, it is a pleasure listening to your speeches, and I do find excellent use of English. I would like to share Presiding Officer Nishant has used dynamic leadership, and he has used phrases and quotes, which was megaless. And Lavanya has used nothing can filter up, which was megalos, me finding comfort, and she has used some phrases which were megalos. And speaker to Yogesh had used magnificent, prestigious. And speaker 3, Harsh Joshi, has used blessing in the discuss, rock solid competition. Megalos, everyone. Meanwhile, I would like to point out some of the words and sentences that can be improved. Tia Modi Abraham, he has used the is actually divided into 3 parts. Instead, if he was to use this is divided into 3 parts, it would be better. And DTM Chandramouli has used they believe in the instead if you had used she believe, and you have used we will have. Instead, if you have used we have, and speaker to Yogesh has used I did my schooling. Instead, if you have used I have done my schooling, it would be nice. These are the points. I'm happy to see the fellow members have used the word of the day for 12 times. We have the names used the word of the day. Presiding Officer Nishant has used it once. Dharani has used it once. Lavanya has used it once. Yogesh twice. Harsh Joshi twice. General Evaluator Chandramouli ji has used once. Our counter Jobin has used once. TTM Aprachatya has used it once. Megalus, everyone. We can see this word is really helpful in conveying your messages, and I hope everyone can use more often in future speech. Thank you. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Evangeline. Now let us do the R counters report from Jobin. Jobin, your account report, please.
Hi, so I will be presenting the R counter report. Starting with the presiding officer Nishan, there were 2 R's, 1 repetitive word, 1 very long pause, and 2 filler words. For Sergeant at Arms Dharani, there were 4 R's, 1 long pause. For the TMOD Abraham, there were 12 R's. There were no pauses. He was very swift, cancelled the bullet train. And he had 2 filler words, so, and the G had a total of 14 R's and 2 and 2 long pauses. Timer Srinidhi had 2 1 repetitive word, 1 pause, and 3 filler words, which happened to be so. Grammarian Evangeline had 3 and 1 Speaker 1 Lavanya had 4 R's and 1 and 2 filler words, which happened to be so. Yugesh had 4 R's, 2 1 repetitive word, 1 long pause. Speaker 3 Harsh had 1 R, 1 repetitive word, 1 pause, and a lot of intentional pauses, and a total of 2 filler words. Evaluator 1 Hiba had 7 ers and 6 filler words, which were and, so, and yeah. Rakshanda had 11 ers and no pauses, no filler words. Shirisha had 4 ers. Table Topics Master Aparajita had 9 ers. And the final name in the coffin, I had 4 ers, 2 2 repetitive words, 3 pauses, and 2 filler words.
Thank you very much, Jobin. I'm impressed that you were able to note your own filler words. Fantastic. Now let us have the timers report from Srinidhi. Srinidhi, could you please present the timers report?
Thank you, Toastmaster Chandramali sir. So here's my report. I'll be sharing my screen. So I hope the report is visible. So let's first talking about the prepared speeches. Lavanya had taken 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Yugesh was very short and sweet. It was 4 minutes 40 seconds. Harsh, sorry, but your speech was a little too extended for a while. So you're disqualified with 7 minutes and 14 seconds. So the next one is the table topic speakers, which is Jobin, who had taken 53 seconds for his short speech. Ahmad had taken 31 seconds. Krishnatej and Nishant, for their lovely conversation, have taken 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Harshvardhan had taken 1 minute, 1 second. And Sir Mr. Chandramali sir had taken 2 minutes and 8 seconds. So next is the speech evaluator, Hiba. She had taken 2 minutes 3 seconds to give her evaluation regarding the first speaker. Rakshanda has taken 2 minutes 30 seconds, and Sirisha, you were pretty short and sweet, but crisp as well, 52 seconds. So I hope my report is done over here. Thank you. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you very much for the reports. Now it is time for me to present the overall report for the meeting. Let me start and go in the chronological order of how the meeting happened. The Sergeant at Arms Dharani, really impressed by the efforts that you put in, ensuring that you do a roll call before the meeting starts. And it's very important to start the meeting on time so that we finish it on time as well. So a great job in that. You did a fantastic job of using the word of the day as well, introduce the rules and the club mission as well. A couple of things to take it to the next level. And I also enjoyed your introduction of the presiding officer. So a couple of challenges, right? So rules are always the most boring part. And as a sergeant at arms, your job is to enforce the rules. So I found one of the best approaches to make people understand the rules and adhere to it is by helping them understand why. So it's very easy for us to say that there are a few topics on which you shouldn't speak, but the whole idea why we avoid those topics is because it can offend people, and we are not here to offend. We are here to kind of learn from each other, and the topic is not the most important aspect as much as the skills that we learn out of it. So we steer away from some topics where it could cause a bit of a rift, and it will no longer be a positive learning environment, right? So that's the whole idea of it. So probably if that comes across, I know it's a challenge, but that's why I want to give you this challenge if you can do that. And the second one is the club mission. If you can either do it verbatim or do the essence of it completely, that would be fantastic. These are the two challenges that I have for you, but you did a fantastic job of starting it on time, infusing the right energy, setting the right rules, and handing it over to the presiding officer. A good job, well done. Next is the presiding officer, Nishant. You did a great job of introducing Toastmasters, and I really liked how you started with a fantastic quote. I would remember that from this meeting. It's better to learn late than never learn at all. And I really associate with it because there are a lot of things that I'm learning now, and there is no time which is late to start learning. And I really appreciate you for sharing this. And it was nice way of getting the guests warmed up. You asked them to introduce themselves. You did everything that is essential for a great presiding officer. I enjoyed the way you introduced the Toastmaster of the day as well. A fantastic job, and it was very inspiring. And that is exactly what is as expected of the presiding officer. Really enjoyed your presidential address. Now jumping on to Abraham, who played the role of T.M. Moody. Is this the first time you're playing the role of the Toastmaster of the day, Abraham?
Yes, sir. I'm doing the first time.
Okay, fantastic. And I would really appreciate people, please don't call me sir, call me as Chandra or Mauli or any part of it, right? The one of the most difficult job in Toastmasters meeting is the Toastmaster of the day. The reason being that you are the one who's guiding multiple things, and being a new club, you are getting used to what happens after what, right? So getting the order right is very important. I liked your approach, and you kept to that, right? This is a very, very good first step. And then anybody who's playing the role for the first time, it is always about getting the fundamentals right, and you got that really well done this meeting. Uh, Probably the next meeting onwards, you can try and put a lot more of energy, try out a few stories. Those come later, right? But the first part is you get the order of the meeting right. You don't take a lot of time because you are the host of the meeting. Host never takes a lot of time, right? Those aspects you did a fantastic job. You introduced everyone really well. For introduction, there is one technique which I would wish to share. It is called as toss. Always state the title of the speech first when you introduce the speaker, because it intrigues the audience. Then ask for the objectives of the speech. So it sets a good tone for the speeches. I know that all of them were icebreaker speeches this time, but asking at least the first evaluator, or you could have shared the objective, so that the rest of the audience who are non-Toastmasters, they can also understand the objective of the speech, right? And then you introduce the speaker. Um, it helps because they are intrigued by the title, they know the purpose, and then you introduce the speaker. I've seen that work well. Probably try a few variations, then you'll get to know what works the best for you, right? Probably experiment that a bit. These are tips for you to become better at the role, but I believe in essence, what the Toastmaster of the day is supposed to do, that is host the meeting, have it flowing smoothly. You did a fantastic job at it. A huge round of applause for that. Then we had fantastic prepared speeches. Let me come to the speeches a little bit later, and let me jump to the table topics first. Aparajita, I really enjoyed the table topic session. The questions were top-notch quality questions, and I believe that's the purpose of the table topics session, right? It should encourage everyone to speak. The topics don't throw you off, but gives you a lot of opportunity to think on the feet and come with an answer, compose it well and deliver it. I believe you achieved it really well today. The fact that each of the speaker put in great amount of effort, I could see fantastic answers there. Um, Probably except for mine, the others were really, really very good. Um, I believe that's the mark of a great table topics master. One more thing, which was the icing on the cake, was the way you introduced table topics. You related it to what is required, how it is related to our day-to-day life. Uh, that is a fantastic connect. People would have understood it, and that showed when they came and answered on stage. So a great job, great questions, great introduction. All these things you did without eating into a lot of time. It was very succinct, and I think that's in a sense a great way to conduct the session. Kudos, Aparajita, for conducting a fantastic table topic session. Now let me walk through each of the speeches and a couple of points. First of the evaluators, all the three of them, Hiba, then Rakshanda and Srisha did a fabulous job. I'm just adding a few things, probably to give a kind of whatever are the extra things that I noticed, right? First with Lavanya, great stories. I believe your strength is your stories, and whatever you learn from the books do show when you speak. Bring a lot of those upfront, and I believe you would have a great ability in you. And I believe when you deliver a speech, the ability of the audience to visualize what happens is very important. I was able to visualize a lot of things. That's a great strength that you have, and I want you to continue on that. Uh, Hiba did a fantastic evaluation, right? Your observations are great. Hiba, one challenge for you is your observations are great. Probably you might wish to think why the speaker did this, why they might have done this, why they might not have done it. It is a very hard muscle to exercise, and I believe once you think for the speaker, right, and walk some distance in their shoe, you would be able to relate to them better. Rather than wanting the speech to be in a certain way, you should think why did the speaker do it this way? Then probably you might be able to come up with a better evaluation. um, I'm not trying to say that your evaluation was not good. All I'm trying to say is how can you become a stronger evaluator to win contests, right? So I would want you to work on that, because I see all the three of you have a fantastic potential as an evaluator, right? The second speech, Yugesh, I really enjoyed your speech. It was really funny take on your life, and at the same time, you had points nailed extremely well. And Rakshanda, I'm a big fan of your evaluation already, because you showcased those skills of looking at why, and I think that is something that a lot of us can learn from. And today's evaluation that was given by Rakshanda, the way she did not say that you used great words, but she said when you narrated the story, I could picturize it, and that is important, right? So it is not the gestures being used, but when the gestures are being used, it creates an effect for you, and it's important to convey that to the speaker, right? It's not just what you saw, but it's important to say how it impacted the speech and how it bettered my ability to understand or comprehend the speech. Fantastic. Adding on to what you said, what you meant by trying to be fluid, let me explain that aspect for the benefit of Yugesh. Yugesh, you had great collection of stories and a great collection of points, right? In your mind, it was easy for you to transition from one to the other. But because you assume that we would be with you in that journey, but as an audience, we all have a different mindset, right? So we might not be in sync. So how do you, there are things which connect each of your story to the other. that connection stays in your mind. Can you word it out? Can you think for us, okay, what if I don't get the connection as an audience? What are the things which would take one from the first story to the second story, and keep building on it? That would give a fantastic fluidity in your story, a great speech, and a fantastic evaluation, right? And the third speech, which was given by Harsh, um, Harsh, I enjoyed your speech. I like the way you arranged your life in terms of 3 accidents. A fantastic way to talk about one's life. And I can clearly remember all the 3 accidents, and you were able to create a scene first. And that is something that a lot of us can learn from the way you gave the speech today. You create a scene, you set the scene well, and then you tell the story, and then it has a conflict, and then it ends in a climax, and then a point emerges, right? Because the 3 most important aspects are characterization, conflict, and climax when it comes to a story. Characterization involves creating characters who are a part of it and setting the scene. You did a fantastic job of that, right? And that's a great strength that you have. You should carry it through in all of your speeches. And Srisha, you observed the right things. That you observed that he put the pain in really well. His voice was good, and those aspects you observed well, right? But can you again, the same challenge for you is, can you think why the speaker would have done that? How did it help? How did it not help? Right? So that's a fantastic muscle to exercise. Why I say it is important, because evaluation, once you try to think for the other person and you start to evaluate over a period of time, that becomes a very strong muscle that you have. And when you go outside, you start to be more compassionate with your people around you. Probably your mom or your mom cooks food and it does not have salt. You would have a better way of saying, probably you forgot salt today. If there is a little bit of salt, it would taste fantastic, rather than saying you didn't even put salt in it, right? It is thinking how the other person would comprehend it and how they would work on it, right? Give them workable items to do so that it would make them better. So that was just tips to make it better. I'm glad that at the meeting number 10, I am giving these tips. This is something probably people who attend Express to Lead meeting, they would know that this is something that I share with evaluators, even at Express to Lead, because I believe that evaluation is something that we grow on every now and then. And this club, for this being the 10th meeting and before even being chartered, the level is fantastic, which means there is a huge scope to grow as well, but the potential is fantastic. Thank you very much for inviting me back to the Toastmaster today.
That was a great evaluation, general evaluator, Toastmaster Chandramouli. Well, that actually brings us to the end of the entire meet. It was amazing. I learned a lot. You guys can actually vote for your favorite speakers and your favorite role takers. So there's a link in the chat box. Just click it and go vote. Yeah, thank you so much. I hand it over to the presiding officer, Nishant.
Thank you, Abraham, for the wonderful session. So I'll give all of you a moment to vote. Yeah, I guess it would be great to see a thumbs up or an emoji once you have done voting. even the guests, you are eligible to vote. So please make sure that you go ahead, click on the link and cast your vote. Sergeant at Arms Dharani, just do let me know when you have the results ready, and so that we can announce. Until then, shall we have a group picture for the day so that it is a remembrance? Because we don't have a physical meet, but still, let's have a group picture right now, right here. Can you please all switch on your cameras so that we can see your wonderful faces, the broad smiles. Rohit, Nishant, I guess, as Asham, I guess he has a low bandwidth.
I have a bad internet. So.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ready, everyone? Smile. Okay, great. Just a moment, let me save that. We'll take one more with some funky force.
Why has Jobin held up a sanitizer?
Okay, great, wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Dharani, do we have the results? Okay, until we have the results, can we have some of the guests who we had today share their experiences? How did they feel about the whole event? If we can start with timer for the day, Srinidhi. Srinidhi? Yeah.
Yeah, Nishant. It was a great experience. This was the first time that I'm being a part of Toastmasters, and I really enjoyed being a timer. This was a great experience. Also, it gives a lot of confidence in everyone to speak among the public, and it was great working with Chandramouli sir. And thanks Manvi for helping me a lot in this. So I would like to appreciate Manvi for this. And it was great meeting you all this time, the first time. So hope we all keep meeting again and again. That's it, Nishant. Over to you.
Yeah. So can we expect you to have a Toastmaster Srinidhi ahead of you?
I will surely, you can surely expect one.
Great.
Thank you.
So can we have Harshavardhan? It would be great to hear from you.
Hello. It was a great being a part of this Toastmaster, and I am sure that it would be help me in improving my English in each and everything. Thank you.
Okay, great. Do we have anyone else who wants to share their experiences today? Okay, turns out we have our results for the day. So this best speaker for the day is Lavanya Shankar. A round of applause. Best evaluator, Rakshanda. Kudos. And the best role taker, general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Chandramouli. And best role taker, table topics master, Aparajita. So kudos to all the winners. And, a special mention to distinguished Toastmaster Chandramouli, who has been with us throughout the session and has given us a wonderful feedback and evaluation today. Thanks to you, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me over. It was a fantastic meeting. And let me tell you one small thing that probably take 2 minutes. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. I believe that the biggest thing which helps in the job search for someone is organizing your thought extremely well, right? And one of the most common question which is asked in an interview is, tell me about yourself, right? Before that question comes in, you might not have even put some thought process into how do you present yourself. There are a lot of soft skills which are very important and we don't practice on a regular basis. And I believe that is where Toastmasters Club play a very important role. It's a place where you come and practice, right? You don't get a place to practice. After practicing, people grow depending upon what feedback they get and how they take the feedback. But you need a place to practice, right? So it's a fantastic platform. And I'm glad that you're starting it in a college because the earlier you start, the better it is. I'm sure now a lot of you would be already doing your interviews or you would have already got jobs. Some of you are looking at attending interviews. The most important skill to remember is talking on the spot, answering the questions, preparing about yourself, being prepared for questions in advance, thinking what the interviewer might think of, right? So the various aspects of doing a prepared speech, the table topics, and as an evaluator would help you in the process. Use this platform as much as possible because it is not enough if you become a great Toastmaster. It is important that you take the learnings from here and apply it to your real life. And you find problems in there, challenges in there, come back and use this as a platform to experiment, learn from it, and go back and apply. Right? With that, thank you for the opportunity. I'm so glad that you guys are starting in college.
Thank you very much. It was great to hear those words from you. So this is a notice to the guests. So if you want to take up a role in the coming meetings or if you want to experience the Toastmasters environment, please feel free to ping me or Manvi or Harsh. Our numbers will be on the chat. Or if you want to take up a membership or any sort of help with Toastmasters, if you want to know any information, feel free to contact us and we'll help you through it. And with that, I declare 10th pre-charter meeting of Toastmasters Club of MVGC closed. Great job, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you.
And also, before we conclude, I forgot to mention the best tag team player for the day. That is our counter, Jobin Joy. Congrats to you, Jobin. I guess we are all at the liberty to leave the call. Good night, everyone.
Good night, all. Thank you. I'll take a leave. Is that all right?
Yes, sure.
Thank you very much.
Rohit and Harshavardhan, are you still here?
Galaxy M21, may I please know your name? Are you guys there? Rohit, Harshavardhan? Okay, they left. Galaxy M21 gone.
हटा दिया छोड़. They are not going to respond. I'll stop the recording.
Hers.